So this will be on trail day 148. It is Saturday, December 5th, 2020. We're leaving the Jenkins Mill shelter. There's a store about 2 miles away, the Brushy Mountain Outpost. But everything in Gut Hook says it's closed on Saturday. So we may be out of luck. But then there was comments about you gotta get there while they're open. They're only open 10 to 2, so who knows? We'll get there within the 10 to 2. And find some water along the way. I had a quart when I got here, and that was enough to make some tea and a rice side for dinner. Been out of water ever since. I didn't want to go down that 0.3 mile downhill trail to the water in the rain. But I'm going to do 13.5 miles to the next shelter. I thought about going to the Chestnut shelter because it's fully enclosed. It's supposed to be in the 20s tonight, but that was 25 miles away and 9,000 something foot of ascent, so I didn't want to try to push that. So 13.5 miles it is. And then there's a hostel, I don't remember the name of it. It's about 30 miles trail-wise from where we're at. And I need to get a resupply, so I may try to get into that hostel Sunday night. This is, I think, day 7 straight, so I may take a 0 day at that hostel. Warm up a little. It's supposed to be pretty cold for the next 4 or 5 days, so. But we'll just see where we end up, how it goes. So I made it to this stream, about 2 miles from the shelter. 0.9 from the Brushy Mountain Outpost. I gave them a call, nobody answered, so they're probably not open today. The next water source is 7.6 miles, so this is where I'll be getting water from. So not far from where I got water is a trash can. It says it's maintained by a 78-year-old lady and a 70-year-old gentleman. It has tape or whatever over the, so maybe it's just a lady now, I don't know. But even though there is a garbage can here, you see all that garbage down by the creek? Walk over here, garbage all down in the creek, all over there. People are so nasty. All that trash. But there's also the chance that critters dug some of it out of the garbage can. There was a guy that come by in a truck and threw away his McDonald's and his half a cup of soda. I'm not hiker trash enough to drink it though. I saw it in there and I was like, I wonder how many hikers. See, it looks like a trail goes that way to blazes, so it turns and there's a blaze up there on the tree, so. But yeah, I've dropped food on the ground, like a little Cheeto or something, and I'll just throw that in my trash bag. So I still hasn't graduated to that level of hiker trash. We'll be crossing over I-77 here shortly. I've been listening to the trucks on the interstate ever since the shelter last night. Oh, there goes one. Looking up a little, there's all kind of garbage where it's come down from the interstate. So it's probably not the best water source. I try to avoid water sources this close to roads and whatnot, but I didn't have much choice on this one. I did filter it, so maybe that'll be good enough. I'm not drinking gallons of it from here, so. That AT on the guardrail. Haven't seen any more blazes, so. Crossing over I-77. Got a few views of the mountains. Nothing super special, but I've not had much of views at all in the last few days, so. I don't know how far I could look it up. On the road, this is a walk, but I'll probably be back in the woods shortly enough. We made it here to the Brushy Mountain Outpost, and they do look closed. No burger today. We'll get a nice view. Other than the interstate, but it is what it is. So by the outpost, it just followed this gravel road up to another wonderful scenic trash pile. But we do get a nice view. You just have to overlook the garbage. And the goat carcasses. I've seen deer carcasses. It's the first goat. I have not seen any blazes since the Brushy Mountain Outpost. There's one up there on the power pole. This trail would not be impossible to hike without gut hooks. But there's definitely some places you'd be questioning whether you was going the right way or not. A pretty good view here. It's a nice little campsite. We've been coming up a gradual hill for a while. Hopefully we're at the top and get to go gradually down or flat for a little while. It got a little windy. I took my pack off at that view spot. Was gonna take a short break and soon as I did, the wind picked up and it didn't stop until I left. Now it's kind of been on my mind mainly today, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but and that is when to go home. Now, I'm not quitting right this minute, so, but I don't want to be one of those things where you never talked about how you felt either. And I don't know, it's getting cold for one. I looked at the weather for pretty much the next week. 30s, 40s during the day, 20s at night. And as we push south, getting close to the highlands, which means colder, probably in the teens. Now I don't have, like, right now it's been, according to my watch, 34 degrees all day, and I'm not cold while I'm backpacking. My nose runs constantly, but it drives me nuts. But I don't know, part of anything you do in life is have fun and enjoy it. Well, I'm still enjoying parts of the hike. Just getting to where there's less enjoyable moments to it. I feel like I'm the only one out here, which is fine. I can socialize, or I can do in solitude. And people I'd have ran into are just wide open miles. And that's been a discouraging thing. I mean, when I started this, I was almost 270 pounds. Now I'm less than 200. So I knew just with that weight, I couldn't do miles like other people. And people that are 20 years younger than me should naturally be able to do more. But there's also people out here older than me that's doing more. So my biggest issue with the miles is I just can't get up in the morning and get started. Now, I've been waking up at 7:30, thereabouts. But when it's 20 degrees outside, I don't want to get up. And I don't know, maybe part of that internally, I just don't have the motivational drive to go finish. It's strange. But I'm gonna see how it goes. Give it a few more days. The hostel is one right on the trail. Just walk into it. Probably get there night after tomorrow. And I'll see how I feel then. I know I have to move my camper by March. I'd like to find another camper before going a long trip. The one we have has some problems, so I'd like to trade it in. Have time to do all that. So all that's playing in my head. I'm just thinking another month and a half. It's getting colder. Each day less enjoyable. I could go home, take my wife, and go enjoyable places. The main thing, a little bit of a view through there. Main thing is no regrets. And if I quit this hike, I have no regrets. At this point, but it's getting questionable whether in the near future I might regret continuing. Wish I'd have just quit so that I could take care of a few things and not be in a rush back in the matrix. So that's kind of what's playing in my mind right now. We'll see how it goes. The trail today has been quite nice. Got a little over 5 miles left to get to the Jenkins shelter. I don't think there's anything special about it. It's just a standard Forest Service shelter, so pretty much like what we've been staying in lately. But it's 3 o'clock. So somewhere between 5:30 and 6, I guess you should get there. It'll just be getting dark. I put fresh batteries in my headlamp this morning, so that'll be alright. I'm kind of switchbacking downhill to a road crossing, a gravel road. And then we'll have to go uphill one more time. And then it's all downhill to the shelter. I think this shelter is fairly close to the trail. It's not way off like Helvy's Mill or whatever the name was we stayed last night. And the water's not far away, so. I'll have a after dinner hot chocolate tonight. It feels like it's gotten a little bit colder, but it could be that I'm going downhill. It probably is. It's just so nice how Virginia has these switchbacks. I mean, that's why it takes forever to get through Virginia, but Maine and New Hampshire had all these kind of switchbacks. They'd probably be 1,000 miles each. Well, here's a nice little campsite. That's right on the creek. You got a picnic table and a fire ring. It's a little north of Virginia 615. I'm not going to stay here, I'm going to keep going, but it's a nice spot. So this is Virginia 615. There's a parking area right down there. There's a car parked there. There's this nice footbridge with these pretty cascades. got a little over 2 miles to go. It's 4:30, so. And from the elevation profile, it should look pretty much like this for a little while, and then we'll have a downhill stretch to the shelter. And tomorrow, I may be meeting up with a fellow RVer that I met in an RV park a few years ago, who lives in this area. I'm not sure if he'll meet me at the Chestnut Shelter or Burke's Garden. Got to work that out. Something to look forward to tomorrow. A ride to Burke's Garden there at Maddie's place would be pretty awesome. I got one more hot meal, mashed potatoes and bacon bits, which is on the list for this evening. I had Asian Nor rice side last night with cheese and lemon pepper tuna. And while that may not sound good, it was actually pretty good. And then it's my last hot meal I got. The only other thing I have left is a couple of lemon pepper packets with mustard and mayo and tortilla wraps. So going in and having a hot meal would be pretty spectacular. But we'll see how it all works out. Just kind of playing it day by day. I'm hoping it'll warm up some. If I could get a couple of weeks within the 50s during the day, the high 30s at night, it'd be awesome. Ever since I got to the top of the hill climb from that dirt road, there's been some pretty muddy spots in the trail. Now, there was a car parked at the road, so there may be someone at the shelter tonight. It could be somebody hiking in, or maybe they're doing a section hike to their car, who knows. I haven't seen anybody going north, so we'll see when we get there. If the shelter's occupied, I may just sleep on my Thermarest Z-Lite tonight. If it's just one or two people. Last time I did that, I did get up at a decent time, so even though it was cold. I may just need to resort to that. I sleep pretty good on it. It's not the most uncomfortable thing. We'll just figure a plan out when we get to the shelter. So, less than half a mile from the shelter. And it's 5:20, somewhere in there. So, I'll be getting there right at dark. And I guess we'll call it an end to this day, since I don't know if there's somebody there or not. And then we'll resume in the morning.